A very good evening, all. I'm Untitled Chapter with the Wednesday night edition of South Asian News, Vision of Asia. We are coming to you from our studio in New York City. Welcome to the show. Let's begin the episode taking a look at the coronavirus pandemic and its impact. The world has surpassed 160 million cases of the COVID-19, with now more than 3.3 million deaths. Experts, however, are predicting that the true global pandemic death toll could be as high as 6.9 million. India, home to many of our viewers, today recorded more than 360,000 new COVID-19 cases and reported more than 4,200 deaths, the country's highest daily death toll ever. Also today, the World Health Organization said that the variant of the coronavirus first discovered in India might be more contagious than most versions of the coronavirus. India continues to be out of critical supplies and the hospitals continue to be overwhelmed, running out of oxygen tanks, ventilators, and PPE supplies. Many organizations across the world are sending help to India, and if you are one of those organizations or nonprofits, please write to us on events@itvgold.com with your information so that we can share your mission. Here in the United States, we are at nearly 33 million COVID-19 cases and at least 582,000 deaths. In vaccines, the efforts continue to reach out and raise awareness amongst anti-vaxxers and underserved communities. On vaccines and more, on the show tonight, we have doctors, community leaders, and the police. Here are the headlines. Indian Health Camp holds vaccination drive, Shree Swaminarayan Temple, South Brunswick, New Jersey. Democratic candidate for City Council District 23, political activist Harpreet Singh Toor, New York City. Royal Albert's Palace hosts Police Unity Tour 2021, New Jersey. It's time for a short break. Stay with the Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I am Untitled Chapter and this is Vision of Asia, Wednesday night episode of South Asian News. Let's begin the episode taking a look at the coronavirus updates and measures. On vaccines, more than 337 million doses have been distributed in the nation and more than 264 million have been administered. About 45% of adults in this nation are now fully vaccinated, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Efforts continue to vaccinate and reach out to the people, and recently, on raising awareness and reaching out to the South Asian community, in New Jersey, the Indian Health Camp, in collaboration with the Sri Swaminarayan Temple, held a vaccine drive for community members. More than 100 people received the COVID-19 vaccine, which was offered by Mr. Ritesh Shah of the Legacy Pharmacy Group, Bayshore and Ramtown Pharmacy. Many officials from the city and the states also showcased their support for the nonprofit's efforts towards health promotion and disease prevention, along with a key focus on the coronavirus pandemic. A proclamation from the South Brunswick Mayor and Council was also presented during the vaccine drive. ITV Gold spoke to some key members associated with this COVID-19 vaccine drive. Here is the story.
Thank you so much, ITV Gold, for covering this. We are so thankful to be here in South Brunswick at Sri Swaminarayan Temple. And we are also thankful to Dr. Tushar Patel of Indian Health Camp of New Jersey for organizing this event, a community event to get people vaccinated with our Moderna vaccine. I don't want to miss this opportunity to mention this, that these two ladies standing next to me, pharmacist Avani Patel and Peggy Rizzo, who drove 1 hour to come here to vaccinate this town. Our goal is to maximize the efforts of state of New Jersey to vaccinate more and more people so we can safely open up state of New Jersey down the road. Thank you so much.
My name is Dr. Tushar Patel, President of Indian Health Camp of New Jersey. We are here today at Swaminarayan Temple in South Brunswick for vaccination clinic of Moderna, organized by Legacy Pharmacy and Indian Health Camp of New Jersey. We have approximately 50 people registered. It's a walk-in clinic as well. A lot of people will benefit from this vaccination. At this point in New Jersey, we are about 38% people are fully vaccinated. So we still need to get more people to get vaccination and be safe from this pandemic. So we urge people to come get the vaccine wherever and whenever they have the first opportunity available for them. Otherwise, we will not have the herd immunity and we will continue to have problems with this pandemic. So we urge people to continue to take the vaccine to the clinics and get your 2 doses. Right now, we are at 38%. 32% in the nation. So we need to ensure that enough people, about 75 to 80% of people, get their vaccine to receive the herd immunity and be safe. So Indian Health Camp of New Jersey, Legacy Pharmacy has been doing this vaccine clinics. Last week we had at Balaji Temple. This week we are in South Brunswick, and Legacy Pharmacies continue to provide these vaccinations in many townships in New Jersey. So kudos to Ritesh Shah and his team for the wonderful job they are doing. Earlier we had South Brunswick Mayor Charlie Carley and the Deputy Mayor Joe Camarada also visited this facility for the vaccination clinic. We thank South Brunswick Township, Swaminarayan Temple Management, and entire community for their support to make this event a huge success. And cannot thank enough ITV and Dr. Sudhir Parikh for their continued support in spreading the word for the vaccination during this entire pandemic. Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Yogini Rao, and we're in our community, our mandir for Vartal Dham. We're truly blessed to have this opportunity to serve our community. Thanks to Lord Swaminarayan, thanks to our Acharya Maharaj Rajendra Prasad ji and Lalji Maharaj Nugendra Prasad ji, that we're able to vaccinate. And of course, the doctor who's doing that today is Dr. Dhruja Patel, who owns Legacy Pharmacy. And thanks to him, we were able to organize this function for vaccination, because our community really needs to be vaccinated and to be safe, because our mandir really has the older generation, and it's important that, we help our community vaccinate.
Let's now take a look at the Royal Albert's Palace in New Jersey, which organized the culmination ceremony for Police Unity Tour 2021. In May of 1997, the Police Unity Tour was organized with the hope of bringing public awareness of the police officers who have died in the line of duty and honor their sacrifices. It started with 18 riders on a 4-day fundraising bicycle ride from Floraham Park in New Jersey to the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C. Since then, chapters across the country consisting of law enforcement have been hosting these bike riding events to honor fallen officers and raise awareness. This year is the 25th anniversary of the Police Unity Tour, and at the Royal Albert's Palace, many spoke on the importance of remembering those officers who sacrificed their lives and to show respect and tribute to them. Here is the story.
Patrick Montouri. I'm the CEO and founder of the Police Unity Tour. I'm a retired police chief out of the state of New Jersey, Florham Park. Also, I'm currently the executive director for the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Fund, located in Washington, D.C. Today is a beautiful culmination of a ride that we did in honor of our fallen. As you've seen in the last several months, actually over a year since last March, we've had the experience of COVID. So COVID has restricted us from getting in large gatherings and large groups, but we were able to come together and in a beautiful way and able to put 30 to 40 miles together as unisons with all law enforcement from all over the state of New Jersey to honor our fallen here today.
Yes, Hernandez Thomas, Newark Police Department, retired in 2016. I joined the Toor in 1998. Just did miss it in 97 because of the last minute and I couldn't get the time off. And been doing it for 24 years now. And this year I'll be riding for my brother, Detective Marcus Thomas. He died in the line of duty, you know.
Well, Chaplain Greg here from Royal Albert's Palace, and such wonderful hosts Albert and his team are. We're so grateful. And we pray that God would continue to bless them abundantly, because they always are there for us. And today has been really a remarkable day as we truly do celebrate. And it is a celebration, even though, you know, our hearts are torn between what we do. We're satisfied in knowing who we represent and what we do is worthy of celebration. 25 years. So Harry and Pat and all of the members who've been around that long, all the leadership team, everyone who makes the Police Unity Tour successful, I pray that you would be blessed, and I pray that you would keep coming to make this the greatest, most powerful event in America. God bless you.
Good afternoon. I just want to take this opportunity to thank all the men and women of the Police Unity Tour. It's a tremendous outpouring of support for all the officers lost in the line of duty. It's been going on now since the mid-'90s. We've been a part of it. Here we support the Unity Tour. From the city of Perth Amboy, we support the Unity Tour. I myself was fortunate enough to be able to ride for a couple of years in the Unity Tour back in early 2000s, and there's nothing to describe what happens. It's the amount of feelings that you have when you're riding to D.C. and you know that you're supporting all of the families of the lost officers. It's a second to none feeling, and the police unity, and just to see everyone here and come from across the country, and the candlelight vigil, which will be happening a little later this year because of COVID, unfortunately, but just to get everyone together and to have this unity of police officers and riding for those who died. Again, I want to thank everybody who's done this in the past, everybody who's here for the Unity Tour, everybody who is currently doing the Unity Tour. Again, congratulations on your ride, and I'm proud of every man and woman that is here that's riding for those who died. Thank you. My name is Larry Catano, C-A-T-T-A-N-O. I'm the Deputy Chief in Perth Amboy Police.
It's Officer Danny Gonzalez, Perth Amboy Police. Once again, the chief hit it. Just want to thank everybody for riding. We also had one of our officers unfortunately passed away. He was a big, rode for 10 years, or did 10 years at Unity Tour, Archie Arcadio Rivera. Just want to say thank you, Unity Tour. God bless everyone that rides, and keep riding. Thank you.
We come to this country, make the money, so we have to donate the money back to American people.
Yeah, but Albert not only donates the money back, he donates his...
Today we are like, because of the corona, otherwise we got more than 1,500 people comes over there. And Virginia, how many people comes altogether?
Altogether, 2,600 people come to D.C.
Right.
And when we do the tour in India, we're going to hope to keep it small this time, the next time. Like how we started here, 18, 20 people, right, and then let it grow over in India like we did here.
Right. We like to grow, and it can help to our Indian peoples to, benefit the police department. We have a different ideas. Someday we can open to training each other, so everybody police department knows about India, knows about America,
Yes.
So
well, Albert has helped the American people understand the Indian culture and how the Indian people have the same type of sense of humor, how you like to laugh with each other, and the minute I say I've been to Gujarat, people go, oh, really? And they want to know, like, where have I been in Gujarat?
Modi invited, and Modi even sponsored the whole thing. They paid for everybody, they paid for the whole, staying over there, and everything was nice when we went over there.
It was very nice.
Yes, I would like to thank Albert. I think he's been a great asset to Woodbury Township, and not only Township. I think he's a great asset to the entire state, and he's doing amazingly great support and I think great sponsorship for this World Police Unity Tour for almost like 2 decades now. It's very long services, very long dedications, and well, we had a really tough and rough year, I would say, last year, Gary, and we couldn't do it. But I'm really nice to see all these officers in uniform. Look at them, it's so beautiful. I think it's not completely normalized situation. We have it, but I think we are at least fair enough to say that we are all, I think, vaccinated. Maybe most probably all of us. We still follow all safety measures, and this is the first, I would say, this in uniform. I would say the union, a great party here. So I welcome them all. It's beautiful to see all these police officers. Great efforts by the police, the chief, and Alberts, and I would like to thank everyone.
I feel very proud myself that I'm part of this police unity tour for at least for 10, 11, 12 years. Last time we visited with Mr. Harry Phillips and his colleague. We went to India, and Mr. Narendra Modi, that time Chief Minister, has invited us, and Mr. Albert Jasani has arranged for the Sardar Patel World Police Unity Tour, and we took ride from Ahmedabad to Karamsad. And it was really a proud moment for me to be part with Mr. Harry Phillips. Thank you.
That's right. When in India, Jay was promoted to doctor, and I was made the chief of New Jersey. So we had a great deal of fun, and Jay made sure I had plenty of Indian food to eat, and it was enjoyable. And drink, and some hot chili.
Well, I'm really very proud of to be part of Police Unity Tour for last 12 years. Last time when Albert Jasani has arranged our Sardar Patel World Police Unity Tour for the taking the ride in India, Mr. Harry Phillips and his colleague, we all went to India, where Mr. Narendra Modi, then Chief Minister of Gujarat, has invited us, and we have arranged the Police Unity Tour in India. And since then, I'm part of this great organization of Police Unity Tour with the good buddy Harry Phillips and Pat Manturi. Thank you.
That's right. And every year when we leave from Florham Park, Jay donates bagels and coffee to us to start us off. And he never thinks twice about it. And again, Jay is such a good friend of mine. So thank you.
Well, it's time for another short break on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back. I am Diti Lama, and this is Vision of Asia, South Asian News segment. We have now another segment of our conversation with community leader and activist Harpreet Singh Toor. Mr. Toor is running for a seat in New York City's Council District 23 and would be the first Indian American on the council if elected. A proud Sikh American, Harpreet Toor wants to represent every community of color and others who reside in the district and has been an advocate for working and middle-class families his entire adult life. His focus for his campaign is to get COVID-19 vaccines to everyone in the district, which has been disproportionately impacted by COVID, along with securing support for small businesses, improving the education system, and working towards public safety, especially with the current increase in anti-Asian hate crime. The Democratic primary election for this district is on June 22nd, and early voting begins June 12th. Here's a conversation with Mr. Toor. And just talking about the immigrant community and again the minorities, what is your take on the increase in Asian American hate that we have seen this year, especially since last year, that Asians have been suffering from? Indians also have suffered, Sikh Americans have suffered that kind of hate. How are you going to combat that?
Well, first of all, the hate crime is a hate crime, right, whether it is against the Sikhs or the Asians or even African American or anybody. Okay. I still remember after 9/11, right around 10 p.m. on 9/11 itself, right here in Richmond Hill on Gurdwara Street. Again, that is one of the achievements. Punjab Avenue, 101 Avenue, and Gurdwara Street, 97 Avenue. A 62-year-old gentleman got beaten up with a baseball bat with the nails in it. And I ended up going to the media, talking to the media with the gentleman, and also trying to, increase the awareness. So from my experience, what it is, it's a lack of, proper education, lack of misunderstanding. And yes, you do come across rhetoric from the people, but how you come across and go beyond those rhetoric. For that, it is only two-way. One is education. The other one is the commitment to serve the humanity, or the commitment to serve your fellow citizens. Because once you start serving them, they understand what that you are just like anybody else. And then not only that they will forget about hating you, they will not only love you, but they will respect you. Always remember, love itself is okay, but respect is more important, because respect is something which gets earned by doing service to the humanity. Right. And I always have believed in that to serve is to be a human, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Just following that, Mr. Toor, I'd like to ask you, do you support the Black Lives Matter movement? And following that, what is your take on defunding the police?
Well, as far as Black Lives Movement is concerned, I personally believe that we would not have the rights which we have today had it not been Martin Luther King.
Right.
Okay. So any movement to improve the system is a good movement. But as far as the defunding the police is concerned, I'm totally against it. I'll give you the reasons for that. Look at the number of crimes which are increasing. For that, yes. We don't want to go back to New York City, which it was when there were like 2,300 murders a year to begin with. Number two, Albany passed a law last year. That is something which needs to be looked at, because a person who commits crime, police arrest the person, he goes to the court, the judge lets him go because the law says that the person has to go. So that is something which we need to look at also. And also, most important, we should not forget, finally, we are getting our police officers in those ranks where they decide who should be going to what kind of crime scene. Even, for example, if it's a domestic violence, if it is happening in a Punjabi or a Bengali community, it's better to send a Punjabi or a Bengali police officer with any second officer than sending totally somebody who is not aware of the the culture at all. So that will make a big difference. So for me to talk about defunding the police, it is something totally wrong portion for to cure the issues or the disease what we're talking about.
Right, but would you hold police accountable for their acts?
The police has always been accountable, but yes, that is something which we need to look deeper into it.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that, like they say, one bad apple does not make the whole basket bad. Okay. But if we sit down with the police officers, the police union across the table and ask them, okay, this is the issue, how should we address? I'm pretty sure they are as much human as we are. They are out there to protect you and me. Okay, so when I say that, I'm pretty sure that there is always a middle ground, and that middle ground needs to be found, and I will work to find that middle ground. And I can assure you, the day I win the primary, I will be out there talking to these people, telling them that once I become the full-fledged city councilman, this is what I'm going to look at. So let us start looking at it right now, so that instead of having last-minute questions or decision-making, start working on that. And we can always bring in the experts for that.
Right. What is your take on gun laws, and what should be done to that? Because that's something that you will inherit if you were to become a councilman.
Of course, of course. See, when I was growing up as a kid, I used to go hunting with my grandfather and my father, okay? The question is, what kind of guns should be allowed? But even before that, if we work on the education system properly, where we can teach the kids who are growing up that the power actually flows through the pen, not through the barrel of the gun, it will make a difference. And we need to make these kids understand, or the people who think that if they have the gun, they have the power. Once we make them understand that pen is mightier than the gun, I'm pretty sure that will make a big dent in the gun violence. And yes, we don't need AR-16 to be given to the people, or high caliber pistols, because that also makes the not only the criminals more bold, but also puts our police officers at risk. So we have to have the common sense gun law, which our President Joe Biden is talking about. And I hope that those people who are opposed to it, they will look at it. I still remember, one of the Republican congressmen, in an interview, he was asked about what he thinks about the gun laws, and he was like, I'm not here to talk about the guns. I mean, if you are representing the community and the community is facing all these murders, yes, it is part of your discussion. Let's not forget about the Sandy Hook or Wisconsin shooting or, Cambria High School shooting, all these shootings. We cannot just put them under the rug and move on. No, we can't.
Right.
And that should not be happening in New York City at all. And I will do my best not to let it happen in New York City.
Well, this wraps up our show for the night. Please send us your suggestions and get your voices and organization on our show. Email us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on Facebook @itvgold. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for free access to many of our popular shows. Thank you for joining us tonight from Queens, New York. This is Vision of Asia, and I am Aditi Lamba. Take care and be well.